Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As I was about to title today's video, here to showcase the underrated power of the shot meter in NBA 2K24. So as you can see, we're going to be getting visual looks at how hittable every shot is on every single one that I take, between these fades that are slightly smaller on the meter and then catch and shoots that are slightly bigger, not to mention off the play take like we got right here with Salt, where I'm doing the pick and pop with him. And as you can see, it's a vivid description on every shot as far as what I'm going to have to do to hit it, and that's what I like about it. Now obviously the counterpoint to this is obviously the fact that no meter gives you the 20% increase to your green window, but that's a misconception at the same time too. So let's go ahead and segue over to my boy Toots' video, and I know this is kind of taking his content straight up, but let's go ahead and plug his channel a little bit and talk about the video that I actually saw that promoted me to want to use the shot meter in this game. Alright, so once again, shout out to Toots for this. It's obviously the graphic straight from his channel. If you guys want to see the video itself, he makes very short form content that's very easy to digest, and as you can see, this video is only four and a half minutes, and it was probably one of the more drawn out videos he's had, but it was a little bit more, you know, descriptive. There's a lot further intel on this if you ever want to check it out, but regardless, what we're here to talk about is, you can see there's a 30 millisecond green window as the example here. So if you get a 20% increase, that means on both sides of the window, you're going to be seeing about 3 milliseconds bigger, which in the grand scheme of things is not that much bigger, if you ask me. Now, truthfully, the reason I like the shot meter on is because I use the dunk meter, and it's what my general play style is throughout this year, and last year, and the year before that for that matter. The entire time the dunk meter's been in the game, I've utilized it 100%. Now, in 2K22, it was obviously like the right stick, and it didn't have the same thing as like a shot meter, whereas in 23-24, we have the exact same visual on the shot meter as you do the dunk meter. So, my consistency of understanding the timing of this meter and where I want to release it generally speaks over to the shot meter as well. But as you can see, this just shows the insane ability to be able to shoot the ball off a play take with sharp take on as well. I mean, look at this. I miss it pretty badly. That's a pretty horribly timed shot right there, and it's even still hittable. Now, obviously, not every shot that I'm going to take is with takeover. Not every shot I'm going to take is off play take either. So all these things get factored in, obviously, but it even shows you that you don't have to be super precise in every single moment of doing it. As you can see, a little give and go Dex with tonic right there. And you know, once again, this is off play take. I'm trying to utilize it for that matter though, and as you can see, I'm doing what I got to do to get open with it as well. So obviously that's still a part of the game for sure. But over here on that just catch and shoot right there in the midi, still very hittable. And I know, like, you know, we're going to be repeating ourselves a little bit with this video. But then for that matter too, you could look at shots like this off the play take and you'd be like, well, that's a bigger green window than you're normally going to get. But here's the thing. If the shot meter is still timed fully 100% to the T right there, you really can't even be told like, well, you only made it because of play take. And then at that point, if I filled it up all the way to the absolute brim of the meter right there, then that's obviously just going to be in, even regardless of play take or not. So, you know, I got some clips that are going to be utilized to takeover, some that aren't. As you can see, it's another thing too that I do kind of like, how in this game full of speed ups and slowdowns and just random stuff that happens, and understanding maybe more shooting, like for instance right there, obviously, you know, this is a good example of, I had takeover the moment I was running the break, but then it went away, and obviously this is still a hittable shot in my opinion. Well, clearly it's a freaking corner 3 catch and shoot, but this is a very, very timeable meter if we're being completely honest. I just completely missed it, and that's my own fault. But then the other thing too is, I'm not a repetitive shooter. I'm not a natural shooter in any 2K game for that matter, because I don't do it very often. So when I have shots like this, not only do I see visually that it was a bounce back and I missed it by a pretty, like, you know, decent margin to slight margin. I mean, that's going to be, it's just a gigantic meter. So obviously, like, the visuals on this, I would say I missed it pretty badly. But you know, normal people are only going to be able to see, like, if you have your meter off, they just slightly lated it. You don't know by how much. And let me tell you guys, I don't have any clips of doing it, but now that I've seen how the meter works on shots rather than dunks, I could miss it by like that much and it'll say slightly early if I released it right there. It's really quite crazy how different the discrepancy is between the shot meter and the dunk meter in terms of how like slightly you could miss on a dunk meter. Like, you know, you could put it to the exact spot that I missed this right here. It would say very late. It would be a red very late every time if you miss it on a dunk meter like that on one of those small ones below the basket. Whereas on a wide open shot right here, you just could miss like this and it'll still be slightly late, or you could miss even worse than that and it'll still be slightly late. So long story short, what I'm trying to say here is you can visually compensate for, you know, how bad you missed. How bad did I miss this shot right here? Or was that right on the money? Boom. How big is the green window on shots like that in the corner where it's a little bit easier to hit? Or between everything, like catch animations, the obviously like load ups that your shots get, the slowdown, speed ups, everything involved. all of this can be visually attained just off the fact that I can watch the speed of the meter. And you know, having been used to dunk meters and the fact that it fills up slower and faster on different types of dunks and stuff like that, you can generally, if you're a seasoned player with the meter, just watch that and be able to see where it's going to be landing and actually be able to visually like time that jump shot meter rather than your actual visual cue. Now, I do use push. I don't think it's really something that you guys should care about or not, though, to be honest with you. As you can see, it's kind of like when the meter gets filled up, the ball's kind of already out of my hand, so I'm not really a big believer in the fact that you should use your visual cue while using a shot meter. If you are going to enable meter, I would just stare down the meter. Simple as that. I wouldn't be looking at your player's model or anything like that. Anyway, yeah, this clip right here at the buzzer, we're just like, you know, trying to run on the break and just get one more shot before the game ends. But this game collectively was one of my first games shooting in 2K24. I know I've kind of gassed this, like, you know, screenshot right here because it was really one of the only few games I've played of Rec, and I've played pretty much just 1v1 from there. I haven't played too much of the game with my shooting build, but again, it's because honestly I don't have much experience on it, and I actually just haven't been on 2K quite as much the last few days. But anyway, as you can see, 43 points, 5 assists, even 3 steals on the no steal build, but 10 for 11 from 3. I missed that one pretty badly, and as you guys could see, it was the one that I showed visually missing as well. Other than that, just a missed 2-point attempt as well. But let's talk about the shooting percentage on this as well. Like, I'm at 63% from 3 on this build in the ones, and I think that's pretty good for the fact that I'm using a meter and I'm not a seasoned shooter for that matter either. So I say like try it before you knock it personally, or don't knock it before you try it is what they say. But anyway, with this, I will say though, you are subject to the scenery. So for instance, the ones court right here is a little bit frustrating as far as the visuals on it. You can see it's blending in with like a lot of different colors and stuff like that going on in the court. It can be kind of hard to see from time to time. And as you can see, like, yeah, I filled up meter 100% right there, but as I already mentioned, it is kind of tough to be able to see with all the visuals around you and stuff like that. And I'm not going to call this like a huge issue with the shot meter, but it's definitely something to be kind of watching for if you happen to be someone that uses the meter. If you shoot from the right side of the court, so take this backboard and cut it in half, and anything to the right side of it at the 3-point line is, or even the mid-range too, is going to pop up on the right side of your player, whereas anything to the left of it is going to pop up on the left side of your player with the shot meter. So as you can see, this is technically a right side shot, so it pops up over here. And if you're someone that's going to be trying to visually look for where your meter is going to be, you may be looking in this spot right here to look for where your release cue is going to be, but then it pops up over here. So you just have to be aware of the fact that that's going to happen to you, and I think from that point it gets a lot easier. Shooting from the middle of the court though can be a little bit unpredictable if you are reliant on your shot meter. So that's where I will say, like, it's nicer to shoot from spots like right here, and anything past those, and this little middle is kind of my dead zone if we're talking a weakness of me as a player. But again, just wanted to make you guys aware of that. Whereas with dunking, it's just whatever hand your player is using. So if you're using the left hand, it'll pop up on the left side. If you're using the right hand, it'll pop up on the right side, and that's just kind of how it works with that as well. So just a few more clips right here. You can see we got the fade to the left, and as you can see, that Kobe dribble pull up, and the green meter doesn't look huge right there, but it is very hittable, and as you can see, shooting from the top right there. Now let me show you somewhere you can actually work on your shooting with the meter as well. Also, if you guys didn't know, I'm pairing up with the NBA 2K Lab this year, so you can use code LAKER for 20% off at checkout at their website. That's NBA2KLab.com. On this website is all types of really good statistical jump shot information. You can also test the jumpers on their website too. Plug the controller straight into your phone or to your PC. You can get early, green, late. It'll tell you where you need to adjust on that jump shot, or if you don't know what jumper you want to run, you just go to their jump shot recommender. You punch in your height, the jump shot rating that you're working with, and then based on the milliseconds of timing that you get, it'll recommend you a jump shot. So again, if you want to use code LAKER for 20% off at checkout, that's NBA2KLab.com. Appreciate you guys, and we'll get back to the video. All right, so as you guys can see, we're in the MyNBA. I do this with a lot of testing things, whether it's testing dunks, testing dunk meter, testing, you know, jump shots, pull-ups, anything like that, as far as what I like to see visually, and even dribbling for animations and stuff like that. So if you want to do this, what I have right here, we have the whole My League where you can go ahead and just create your player. So as you can see, I have LakerFan, like pro dribble style, quote unquote, right? And this is what I've used to test my stuff. Now, here's where I do want to explain a couple modifications that I've ended up doing on this. I took away my hot zones, and I made my 3-point rating in mid-range quite low. Like as you can see, they're literally 56 and a 58. And I wanted to make it so the shot meter is harder, so it's easier to practice. And then also, for that matter too, I lowered the sliders on the shooting. But anyway, to come in here, and as you're gonna see, the shot meter visual is a little bit smaller than it probably is even in game. I wanted to make it harder for me to be able to practice this stuff. But as you're gonna see, it pops up pretty small, and that's the type of stuff I'm trying to hit. So if I were to miss one, let's say like we'll keep going until I do miss one, but this is where I'm talking about, like, we're gonna get some good repetition with this, and even while talking, you know, and even on catch and shoots, you could shoot from limitless. Like, that's gonna be a little bit tough right there. And I think you guys understand what I'm trying to get at here, that in this arena you're able to practice a lot of stuff, like for instance shooting out of different dribble moves that are gonna maybe get different cancels and stuff like that too. You could practice the catch and shoots, the fades, the dribble pull-ups to each side, all that stuff. It's got no latency, which for that matter, it's not even that far off the in-game timing now, because of the fact that they did take a massive amount of latency off, and that Gatorade court isn't really even like a big deal between here and there as far as like what's gonna feel different with the timing or anything like that. And then what you can do, you can come over to these players, you can change all their bases, their uppers, you can even change the blending if you would like as well, if you were to have like 2 different uppers. For this one, I'm just running a pure upper. And also shout out to 2K Labs, I'm sure we plugged it in the video by this point, but I will be showing you guys my exact jumper on this build. It's not this one that I'm showing you right here. So if you would like to like rapid fire test your jump shots, you could just export the player DNA, you'll copy over all the exact same attributes, SIGs, everything like that, and then you can import it and just go ahead and copy it over. So as you can see, I already have, like, for instance, a 6'8" LA Laker fan right here, and boom, I could just import it to the player, and now all I have to do is change the jump shot that I have equipped, and boom, I could just save it, and there it is. Now I got like 8 different players with all the same ratings, but I have different jump shots on them and different dribble pull-ups or different dribble moves, whatever I want to test. So just wanted to put you guys on game with that, and as I said, like, it gives you a good opportunity to visually practice the meter, whether it's for the fades on either side, left, right. You got the front fades and stuff like that too. You got catch and shoots. It's the only place you can practice catch and shoots for that matter as well. So wanted to put you guys on and give you an opportunity to maybe try this out and test it. And obviously you could compensate for a little bit of latency. Like, your latency is still going to be whatever your like internet's latency says. So for me, I got really good internet. It's like 20 millisecond latency, or like maybe 28, some stuff like that as well. But for the most part, it's not going to be too far apart. The offline mode that you have right here and the in-game mode, and that's coming from me who's using the shot meter anyway as well. So it's not lies or cap or anything like that. But anyway, that's all video. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you made it to the end of the vid, put shot in the comments, show supports me all the way through. Like always, try someone to 2,000 likes. And I appreciate you guys watching. And in tomorrow's video, we'll drop the jump shot as well. The jump shot that turned me into 60% shooter is probably going to be the title of the video. Obviously, I could have jumbled those videos together, but we'll keep this one short, and then we'll just drop that for tomorrow's video anyway. So stay tuned for that. And if you happen to be watching this a little bit down the line, you could obviously still find the video most likely as well. So anyway, that's all video. Hope y'all enjoyed. And that, take it easy, man. Peace.